Oh, I think it's very important. One, it allows that person to feel like that they do have a safe space and that they have allies because they may not have that outside of work. We don't know what their life is outside of work. That if we can provide that at work, wouldn't that be a great thing? That they can at least feel safe for those 8 hours that they're at work.
Hi everyone, I'm your host, John Ong. Welcome back to another episode of Pride Talk, a podcast presented by Nat Pride. Our podcast features conversations with Asian American LGBTQ+ professionals and our allies. To learn more about Nat Pride, please visit our website at pride.nap.org. As we wrap up the conversation series with David, he explains how crucial it is to be able to bring your authentic self to work and find out what's David's advice if you're curious if one of your coworkers is an LGBTQ individual. Plus, he also answers some fun lightning round questions, but more importantly, some awesome advice for you, whether you're trans, bi, gay, straight, or queer. But first, I asked David, how was coming out like for him at work?
I think for me, because I stayed in Minnesota for another 3 years, and then I moved back home and to this area because my parents were going through some health issues, and my mom was getting ready to have back surgery at the time, so I wanted to be down here. So I moved back. It would have been easy for me to go back in the closet because now I'm with nobody knows me, here, and those that knew me from here didn't know. But I ended up working for Vanguard Airlines when they were still here. It was Kansas City's hometown airline at the time. And they were very open. They were even going through the whole, should we give partner benefits, like flight benefits? Wow. So when that was approved, because as an employee, I could fly anywhere that there was a seat available. Yeah. And then with the partner benefits, my partner Wesley could fly too. So
there's perks.
Yeah, there were perks, and of course, in the airline industry, there's a lot of LGBT people.
Right.
So that I think left it open for me to be okay with being out at work. It was never an issue. He came to all the events, like you said. So I never felt like I needed to hide at work. And then when I started to work at Hallmark, I remember the first day I came in, I brought his picture with me and just put it on.
So you felt safe?
Yes. Well, one, it was the creative community within Hallmark is a safe space.
Yeah.
I won't say that all areas are, but definitely the creative area. I felt safe there. So that was not a problem. And then a good friend of mine who still works there that started around the same time as me, he was very good at knowing and being aware. So he would always ask, how's Wesley doing? What did you and Wesley do this? So he
made a point.
He made a point to show interest. So then that allowed me to even be more open and more so. So after coming out, I haven't really felt like I've worked at a place where I had to hide it, or not be out. It was just, I think once I came out and I found my tribe and I found that wasn't an issue.
What do you think that sort of safe and welcoming environment does to somebody who worked there?
Oh, I think it's very important. One, it allows that person to feel like that they do have a safe space and that they have allies because they may not have that outside of work. We don't know what their life is outside of work. That if we can provide that at work, wouldn't that be a great thing? That they can at least feel safe for those 8 hours that they're at work, Plus, it allows them to be themselves and not have to worry about pretending to be somebody else, which makes them more productive. Yeah. And again, if they are happy and productive, it only helps the company too.
Yeah.
But ultimately, you want your people to feel worthy, that they have value. All parts of their life have value, that all their experience, if you're an LGBT person, you're bringing something else to the table. You're bringing your experience with your family and your relationships. You bring that to the table, and that adds value to what we can provide, because that is the business that we are in, of relationships.
Yeah.
And we mean all relationships.
Real life relationship.
Yes. Because I remember for years I was wondering where's the products for our community, both LGBT and also the Asian community. We struggled with that for a long time, but now that we have that, we see the journey, and that journey would not have happened without the voices
Yes.
of
From within. Yeah.
From within.
Yeah.
It was all those people before us that fought and fought and fought and kept bringing it up, and then for us to continue that discussion is what now allows us to have this.
Is it important for your coworkers to know that you are gay?
It's important for them to know me. And if that's a part of me, then yes, then it's important. Not that I want them to necessarily have to come to, my house and hang out and, hang out with my partner or thing, but just to know that that is a part of me, because I think it will also allow them that if they have never experienced being around a gay person, then I can be that representation in their life.
Yeah.
Or if I hear them say something about the gay community in a bad way, I can say, not all of us are like that. Don't put us all under one label. Yes, there may be some in the LGBT community that do whatever it is that you're saying or are, but not all of us. I want to be able to represent at least me.
Yeah.
And say, look at us individually.
What? So you wouldn't have any issue if somebody come up and know that you're gay, right, at work. What advice would you say or give someone who is curious about whether or not you're gay and want to ask that question?
Asking if I'm gay? Oh, I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, but how would you advise somebody who's like thinking of, so if this person A is listening right now,
Yes,
and she or he always think that the coworker potentially could be gay or lesbian or bi or whatever, or transgender, how would you give them advice about their curiosity to find out if they are?
Oh, if they may be curious or
They're curious about wondering
themselves.
if it's a coworker. No, a coworker.
Oh, a different coworker.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're in the workplace, right?
Yeah, that's a different.
And this is really purely from David's point of view. Like,
Right.
how would you advise somebody or tell somebody, because you're okay
Yeah,
being asked
it's not for you to ask. It's for that other person to
identify.
reveal.
Yeah.
It's
Good
not,
advice.
Yes,
Good advice.
It's you may be curious, but it's not your place to go up and ask them if they are. Now, if they tell you they are, then you can start asking questions if you're wondering things about their life and things like that. But until then, it is not your place to.
Why is it? Why do we have to respect that? That is there because the reason why I ask this is,
Honestly, we don't go up and ask people, "Are you straight?"
yeah,
We don't.
yeah,
And this gets back to the coming out process too, and why people ask, why do you have to do that? It's because of perceptions in this world that everybody is straight.
by default.
Like when you see parents with their kids, and their kids may be teenagers, and you see this, nice, young, good-looking young man, 14, 15, everybody says, oh, you must have lots of girlfriends. Why do you automatically assume
Right.
that it's girlfriends?
Yeah.
You've already labeled him before he's even told you who he is.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to allow people to reveal themselves to you when they are ready to. You can wonder, but
Yeah.
I don't think you should ask them, because we don't go up and ask people, "Are you straight?"
And I also think that you can be more curious about who they are first before you're curious about whether or not they're gay.
Right. Yeah.
So because as you get to know them more, if they want to reveal, they
Yes,
will reveal.
Right. and if they trust you.
Yeah.
So that's the first part is, get to know them and be their friend and be the safe space that
Yeah.
they then can
Right.
tell you.
Yeah. It
that-
is your choice,
right.
ultimately.
Yes.
Good advice. How do you work with someone who's unable to accept your sexual orientation?
I don't care if they accept, but I do expect them to respect.
Yeah.
Accept, I don't tolerate, accept, I don't care. That's up to them, but you will respect me in this space when we're together. That I won't put up with.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. You have to respect me, and I will respect you. And we can have different points of views, but when we're at work, it's about getting the work done, and we respect each other.
RESP is the integral.
That's right.
Okay, so very quickly, some fun questions that I got from the survey.
Okay.
What does pride mean to you?
Oh God, let me think. It's twofold. I think pride is respecting yourself first, and then demanding that respect of others. So it's saying I have enough respect for myself that I can also now demand it of you.
Back to respect.
Right.
Yeah.
That I can be who I am in this space. And you will respect my presence and know that I have value in this space. And then if you can't deal with that, that's not my problem. And you need to exit the space, not me. I think that's what pride is.
Do you ever have to choose to? I think you identify that you never have to struggle with the Asian and the gayness.
No, but I will say that when I was first, considering like the different employee resource groups, I think that was an issue because we have an Asian one, we have an LGBT one, and I'm like, okay, I don't think I have the energy to do both.
Yeah.
So what do I do? And honestly, I think because the LGBT part was probably the more important part is where I would have gone. But because Julie was the first one to say, we see value in your talent, come help us. That's what drew me in that way.
Yeah.
But as you know, a lot of what we've been doing within our own employee resource group is trying to cover both. So we tried to find those places where we intersect and where we can actually do events with our LGBT friends, in the LGBT ERG.
Yeah.
So we tried to do something with all of them. But that was part of my passion when I was leading Arch for the first time, was that I wanted to do stuff because I felt I don't fit. I'm a veteran. I'm LGBT and I'm Asian, and I don't want to have to choose where I put my energy. So what can I do where I can bring them together?
Yeah. For me, it was I felt like there's enough voices in the LGBTQ group, like in here, than there are at that time when I joined the voices for the Asian community. And plus, I'm also seeing like the.
But there's not an Asian LGBT voice in there.
Yeah.
So that's
That's right. Okay, and who's your first celebrity crush?
Well, of course, back to the Blue Lagoon, that
Blue
cheesy
Lagoon.
movie.
What's his name?
Christopher Atkins.
Christopher Atkins. Okay. What's do you have a pride song?
Oh yes, I have two.
What?
And I'm old, so it's old school.
Yes.
Diana Ross's "I'm Coming Out."
I'm coming.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Well, because that one was actually written for the gay community because of her gay fans. And then the second one is Sister Sledge's "We Are Family," because that talks about your tribe. I mean, it wasn't written for that; it was written about them as sisters. But
People identify.
But I remember that playing at the gay clubs. When I was first going and dancing to that with a bunch of people that were like me. That this was your family, your chosen family.
Yes.
Your tribe,
Yeah.
and the power of that. So that's why those two songs are my two go-to.
Cool. What does living an authentic life mean to you?
Being true to myself at whatever point I am on my journey. So not having to be one thing for somebody and then another thing. Because I look at some other LGBT people that are very prominent. Like we've been talking. I love like the new Queer Eye. And they all have unique, distinct, different personalities. And I love like Jonathan and how out he is and just how flamboyant he is.
Jonathan's long hair.
Yes, and, and he just showers everybody with love and affirmations, and I love that about him. But that's not me, and I shouldn't try to pretend to be that as much as I should not then try to hide who I am for somebody else.
Yes.
It's wherever I am at this point on my journey to be that. Now, a year from now, I may be somebody else on my journey. I mean, my personality may change a little. I may grow a little more into something else. And at that point, I just need to be as true as I am to that. So it's, but I also understand that, especially if you're first coming out, you're still trying to discover who you are. So you are going to be different things. But at some point, try to be as true to yourself as you can be. And then that's being authentic.
And the last bit here is people hearing this are in various different stages of their lives, either as part of the community or outside of the community observing us, or our allies, people who want to fight for our existence, our rights.
Right.
What advice would you give? So some of these questions would be helpful for people to hear, especially if they haven't arrived yet. You've walked through this journey yourself. You told us in the last several podcasts how you found yourself, how you became yourself, and there are a lot of people out there who are in different stages of your life that you're walking through.
Right.
So I always think, why do I want to make people go through that tough road again? If I've walked through, if I can share just that little bit that might hopefully would inspire or change their course of trying to find themselves. So your advice to yourself before you came out as today. So if you would tell yourself before you came out, what would that advice be?
Find your tribe. That is your support system, because you will need it. I think that was the most important thing for me, that even that one person that was there for me when I came out, that was my tribe. One other person. At least I connected with somebody that supported me. And then from that, I learned to find the bigger tribe, and then more and more. So find your tribe. And do that before you come out if you can, so that they're there to support you. Reach out to us or to what.
This is what NAP Pride is.
Right. That if you have nowhere else to go, reach out to us, and we can be the first link in your tribe and can connect you with other people. So that's part of why we want to be here is we can be that for you. So find your tribe. That is very important.
And this is a very crucial part, I think, of why I want to be involved in this program by NAP, why I wanted to be putting my time in this podcast and talking to people, is because there will be people, and we know, and I've been through that, there will be people who would not even know where to go find their tribe.
Right.
So we are telling you right now that through Pride Talk, NAP Pride is your tribe. And you can find ways to connect with us, so that there are a lot of people. We are at various different stages of our journey. Harris, Terry, Kim, you, me, at this stage, more in the future, we are able to at least be a listener, so that you don't have to feel like you are alone at this.
Right. Plus, this is also growing into a national program. So we will have connections nationally and possibly internationally, that no matter where you're at, we can connect you with people. But if we're your first step and you have no other contact with us after that, we would be happy to be that for you. Right. So just reach out to us if needed.
Yes.
We're here.
And you can do that anonymously. You can also reach out to us even if you are not part of the community. And if you're a parent,
right.
Because I think that's a huge part also is, and we will talk to people like that too. We will interview people who hopefully are Asian gay parents,
right?
Who what they have to deal with and how do they come to terms to accepting their children or their child. For us, their children, right. Both my brother and I gay, and so all that. Use us, definitely come to us. And this is the whole one purpose of why we want to do Pride Talk, is to be able to put that out there and let you hear it and know that there is a safe place that you can come and claim us as your tribe.
Yes.
What advice would you give to somebody who's thinking about coming out to their family or at work?
I think, again, it's that same thing. Find your tribe, find your allies, get those aligned. You may not have spoken to them directly, but you can tell, or you can do some research on which organizations are out there, what people reach out to us, or if you've heard of a group within your own community or an ally or something, reach out. Just have somewhere to go or a phone number to call.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hotlines.
Yeah.
Have that on hand.
Yeah.
Have
And
that.
we tried to do that. I mean, we are starting as a new program, but NAP Pride is starting to pull together the resources. So if you hear this, you can go to our website
Right.
to find
Yeah.
out more about those resources.
And hopefully you will have people that are already within your community and within your tribe and your circle of friends that will be that support for you. But just like for me, when it happened, there was only one person that was there. But thank
That was
God
so crucial.
that one person was there.
Yeah.
But if you don't have that, then just know that we are here.
And just when I started my podcast many years ago, that was I have a lot of listeners who emailed me, and that was the only person they can talk to.
Right.
I was the only one that they can email because they feel like they can be safe because I don't really know who they are. But they always tell me that the common thing, and I haven't had that for a while, which is probably a good thing.
Right.
That you are the only person that I can talk to about this. And I've seen even one that's Facebook friends with me who's now a grown man. And I remember he wrote me in high school telling me that, that's the only place that he can tell another person that he's gay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very crucial to have that tribe.
Yes.
What about at work, coming out at work?
Again, the same thing. Find out if your company has an ally group. At Hallmark, we are fortunate that we do have a group of allies that are very supportive. Or if you don't have an ERG, maybe you can find a group locally that can help you. And if not, again, reach out to us. Yeah. No matter where you're, if you're struggling with coming out, whether it's at work, whether it's at home, whether it's with your family and your friends, if you don't have that sense of a community, just reach out to us and know that you have at least one place to go to, because you will need it, because it will be difficult. I think it's getting better in a lot of places, but it depends on where you live, because there are some places in this country that you just will not get that support. And instead of struggling through it on your own, know that there's people out there.
And sometimes the advice is to not come out at work yet.
Yeah, that's true too. You have to be ready.
Yes.
We're not saying that you have to come out.
Yeah.
We're just saying if you decide to, know that we're here.
Yeah.
And that there are others that are out there. Nobody can tell somebody to come out. That is your own personal journey.
Yeah.
And we need to respect that. We don't encourage outing people.
Yeah.
This is your journey. And if you're struggling with it, talk to somebody first, and know that when it happens and that you decide to do it, that they will be there 100% to back you up.
What advice would you give to parents who found out that their child or the children are gay or lesbian or transgender?
First of all, at that one moment when they come out to you, it is not about you. Make it perfectly clear to them that this is about them, and that they love you and trust you enough to share this one really important thing that they've been struggling with. No matter what your beliefs are, you can talk about that later. But at that moment, it's about them, and it's about the fact that they need you. So be there as an ear, be there to wrap your arms around them. And even if you can't do that, find somewhere that you can send them, that they can get help. If it's not you, find a phone number, reach out to us, but make sure that child has a support from somewhere if it can't be you. Even if you don't believe it or can't accept it, send them somewhere where they can, because it can actually, be a life or death situation for many people who are coming out, that if they don't have that support there. So my advice is, at that moment, it is not about you. It's not about all the things you've done for them. It's not about feeding them all these years and changing. Don't go into that. It's not about that. It's about you being the parent and you being there for them. Give it some time and then talk about it. And, just as we tell you that, we also want to let the person coming out know that their parents or whoever they're coming out needs that coming out time too. So, give them space and don't expect them to accept everything right away.
Yeah.
But if you are the parent and somebody is coming out to you, it's not about you, not right now. That can come later. But that's the most important thing, is that it's about them.
Good advice.
Yes.
We never coordinated. We never talk about that portion of it. It's just always curious to me because I found like my parents are so accepting that I kind of learned a few years later why that was. I was listening to a bishop talking about how he was immediately jumping out to his brother coming out. He's a U.S. prominent bishop, and then his brother came out, and immediately he said, I just jumped to like, how am I going to tell my people? And then he said, I have to stop and say, no, this is not about me. Mm-hmm. It's about my brother.
Right.
So I think for my parents, it is all that. It is because they immediately jumped to the questions of they felt bad, not because they were gay, but because they were not there when we went through our struggles.
Oh.
So their focus was on us and never on them.
Right.
And therefore, I want to say for parents is you want to make sure that you keep that in mind, because sometimes that scar is deep.
Yeah.
And you don't want to, out of, now that you have preparation, you heard this conversation, so you should know that you want to make sure that you don't blur out something that's going to be hurtful.
Exactly.
It's very difficult to pull back.
Right. Once it's said, it's said. And I don't want to diminish what the parents are going through either.
Yeah.
That, if you need support, then reach out to us too. We will talk to you. You know, if you have questions that maybe you feel uncomfortable asking your child at that time, that you just really feel like you need some answers, reach out to us and we can have that discussion with you. Yeah. I don't want to at all diminish that this is a struggle for you too.
Yeah.
But at that moment, it's more of a life or death situation for your child than it is for you. Mm-hmm. So it's more important that they get through this at this immediate moment, and we can help you get through it too. We understand. We know that you're struggling with the news, So reach out to us. We're not parent bashing or anything like that. We just want to be there as a support for everyone.
Yeah. Thank you, David.
Oh, thank you.
See,
I'm a talker.
You are. 2 hours.
I know.
Well, thank you for sitting down and have a conversation with us today, and us meaning me and the listeners.
Yes.
And if you guys want to be in this conversation, let us know. There are multiple ways of finding out. The best way is to just go to our website. Go to pride.nap.org, and you have all the information there. Click on the podcast tab, and you'll find out all the information that you need to either talk to us or be on the podcast and chat with us that way.
Yes.
Thank you, David.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Well, I hope you enjoyed the 6-part series of deep conversations we had with David Moore. If you enjoy more conversations like these, be sure to subscribe to our podcast wherever you get your podcasts so that you won't miss any future episodes. Share your comments and your own stories with us. You can email us at pridetalk@nap.org. You can even call us and leave us a voice comment. Our number is 4197-PRIDE-5. That's 4197 PRIDE 5. And of course, you can find all this information on the show notes as well as on our website, pride.nap.org. That's pride.naaap.org. Until the next person that we chat with on Pride Talk, remember this: representation matters. So be seen, be heard, be loud, and be proud. Bye.